Greetings all, this is Precious, the new Jamaican, and welcome to my channel. I'm coming to you from the beautiful island of Jamaica, wanting to give a shout out to you and to also give a follow-up to the video I did about Banking Jamaican Style. So if you've not watched that video, go back, give it a watch, give it a like, give it a share, then come back and view this video. But before you do either of those things, I want you to remember to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. Now, go back and watch the first video. I'll still be here. Ah, you're back. I'm assuming you've watched the first video. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever been to the bank and wondered what the person ahead of you is doing? Why is it taking so long? I mean, how many transactions are they making? Well, you will definitely experience that while banking in Jamaica. Whether you just need a teller or whether you need a banker for some other process, it's going to take a long time. Quite a while. Say you're going to run to the bank on your lunch hour. Hold up. I know for most of you, unless you have long ties to the island, have family there, been back and forth a lot, or you've gotten a position with an international company, you won't be going anywhere on your lunch hour because you're not coming to Jamaica to get a job. You will either be retiring or you will be creating a job. But I think you know what I meant. So, back to the video. Banking in Jamaica is just not a fast process. I mean, no matter the bank I was at or the transaction I was making, it just took a long time. Even when I went to Kingston to do some banking, which for some reason I thought was going to be different, the process was long. It just took a long time. And part of that reason is the waiting. I mean, there is always a queue. And that in the queue, there's usually chairs there. And that's good because you're actually going to want to sit down. But that should also give you a clue of just how long the wait can be. Now, if you're a senior, there's usually a separate section for you, and the wait usually is not as long, which is good. But I also envy that. I don't think I've ever been in a Jamaican bank for under an hour. It's likely an hour and a half or two or longer. I'm not exaggerating. Now, granted, I was often dealing with a banker on some issues like opening up a bank account or something else, but I mean, wow. Not including the wait time, the transaction itself seems to just take a while. Even if you only need to work with a teller, not only is there a long queue, but it just seems like the process takes a while. But maybe that's all in my head. The truth be told, even if you're going to an ABM or ATM, as we call it, there's a long queue, long time. Now, mind you, I'm talking pre-COVID, so you can imagine how bad it currently is. And as an aside, when COVID first hit, the Jamaican government provided compassionate grants to their citizens. It's their version of a stimulus payment. The grant could be deposited into your bank account or sent to a remittance company like Western Union. And boy, were the lines long to pick up that compassionate grant. Crazy long. Okay, that wasn't a bank. That was a cambio, a remittance shop. What we know as a check cashing place, what Chicagoans called a currency exchange. And I guess banks weren't quite like that since account holders were able to get their compassionate payment deposited directly into their bank account. But you can imagine it was still a relatively long line because, I mean, people went to get that money. They needed that money. And I guess it's not really that bad any longer. But considering that the banking queue was already long, COVID is still here. COVID is actually spreading throughout the island since Jamaica opened up its borders. Banking lines are long. Remittance lines are long, very long. Now, this would be the time that you will need to learn to practice patience. Getting frustrated is not going to change a thing. It's just going to make you frustrated. So bring a book, talk to the person next to you, but don't get frustrated. This will also be the time to start conducting your banking online via the bank's online platform. Jamaican banks have long been encouraging people to use their online platform for their banking, but for many reasons they don't. Many of their customers are senior citizens, and most people just do not have a reliable access to internet. And some people just aren't comfortable with online banking. Heck, people in the States aren't comfortable with online banking. So off to the bank they go, creating this long queue. And since COVID, you're not even allowed to go inside of the bank. They only are allowing so many people in the bank at one time. So the queue is not just inside of the bank, it's outside of the bank. But I would encourage you not to go to the bank unless you absolutely positively have to. There's really no need. I mean, how often do you go to the bank now aside from using an ATM? I assure you, it is secure. I have conducted many bank transactions online from the States with no issues, from paying bills to transferring funds between accounts to transferring funds to individuals. And I'm, of course, talking Jamaican banking. It is secure. Many agencies on the island, like JPS, Jamaica Public Service, which is the electricity company, phone companies, and depending on where you live on the island, your water bill can be paid either on those individual sites, at a remittance shop, or through your bank, just by adding them as a payee, the same way you would in the States. And though many locals will pay those bills in person or at a cambio, a remittance shop, locals will usually conduct all of their other banking right in person, creating this long queue. Also, I just saw on one of the Jamaican news outlet that there have been some crime issues related to going directly to the bank. Apparently, some bad actors have been trailing people at the banks and then following them into their communities and snatching their monies. And these guys are doing this on speed bikes. And again, I am very aware that they did not say where on the island this is happening. I'm assuming somewhere in Kingston. But the JCF has even confiscated many of those bikes in an effort to curb the crime. I can't really figure out how it works, and I don't tell you this to frighten you. I just want to make sure that when you come here, particularly if you are living here, you want to always be alert. This is also an effort to encourage you to bank online. In fact, the JCF officer on the news was actually encouraging people, do your banking online. Oh, one other important bill that can be paid through your bank is your property taxes. However, this can only be done through your bank if you have an NCB account. Otherwise, you will need to pay your property taxes through the Tax Administration Jamaica website, taj.gov.jm. And you will remember from my first banking video that if you will be collecting Social Security benefits, your benefits can be directly deposited into your Jamaica bank account, again, only if you have an NCB account. Otherwise, you will have to keep an American bank account open for that purpose. But I digress. And we'll talk about Social Security on another video. Other than the long wait, banking in Jamaica is like banking anywhere else. So this will be an easy transition for those of you who will be making this move to Jamaica. Banking in Jamaica is safe, it is secure, and it is something you will feel very comfortable doing. So go back and review and implement those 8 steps that I provided to you in the first banking video. Do your research, determine which bank you want to work with, and let's start banking Jamaican style. Well, that's going to do it for today. If you enjoyed this video, wish to see more content like this, please go ahead and subscribe to this channel. Hit the notification bell so that you will know every time I upload a new video. Like, comment, and share. And as always, people, stay conscious and stay connected. Peace.